Don't save money, save this instead to get rich. Saving your money is hard, slow. It takes forever to get you where you want to go. Even worse, trying to chase returns creates risks that won't pay off nearly as much as plugging financial leaks. You may think you're saving money, but if that doesn't create real cash flow, then all those savings may just be pennies compared to the overpayment of tax, interest, investment fees that don't perform, and insurance costs. So rather than coupon clipping, setting money aside, waiting for one day someday, the game is about keeping more of what you make without cutting back, and instead of saving, creating cash flow today. So we can all agree that saving money is great. What most people don't realize is how much saving on taxes and loan payments can truly affect their lives. Do you really know where your money's going? How's it flowing through your hands and where it's ending up? When recapturing your wealth, what's more important? Paying off loans, reducing expenses, or earning a high rate of return? By calculating your potential, it becomes easy to see the benefits of saving money and recovering cash rather than seeking a higher rate of return. Your full earning potential is reduced over time by eroding factors such as taxes, debt service, inflation, and lifestyle. If you can save $5,000 a year in tax, another $5,000 in interest, and another $5,000 on hidden fees and commissions and duplicate coverages of costs with insurance, that's 15 grand. Now, that might be 1,500 for some, it might be 150,000 for yet others. But do you know how much money you'd have to invest to find $15,000 a year in additional cash flow? If your investments earn 5%, you'd have to invest 300 grand. But you can get that same return just by optimizing your cash flow. Let's look at analysis over a period of 30 years. To make it easy, let's say that you have no assets, no 401k, and no money set aside yet. What do you have? Your most powerful asset is your earning potential. So say that you have $100,000 per year of income. That means over the next 30 years, you'll have a total of $3 million flowing through your hands. That's already a pretty good sum of money. This first assumption is that you have had no increase in income, that somehow you've just made $100,000 per year for the next 30 years. So let's assume that you have the ability to increase your earnings by 5% per year. So it's going to go up over time. And if we calculate it over 30 years, your $3 million becomes $6.6 million of income. It's not too bad. There's one more assumption to work here, right? We're saying that basically you put your money under the mattress, that it's not working or earning for you at all, which that's not true for the majority of the population. Let's assume that you've learned some cash flow insurance principles, and we'll go through that in a bit, and that you can make a better return on your money. Let's assume that now you're earning a 5% interest rate on your money. Now, overfunded cash value insurance, the stuff that I started back in 1998, has done 5.32% without tax. So this 5% is actually somewhat realistic. It's not predicated upon the stock market. So now with your total income increasing by 5% per year and earning 5% on your money, it turns into $12.9 million. So $12.9 million with increase in income, starting at 100 grand and having a little bit of interest that you earn on your money as well. That's not too bad, right? That's how much money passes through your hands over a 30-year period, given the variables we've talked about so far. The question is, how much of that money are you actually holding on to, and how much just slips away? See, other factors will decrease the amount of income that stays in your pocket over a 30-year period. Let's focus on the three most powerful eroding factors: taxes, loans and interest, and lifestyle. Let's begin with taxes. See, these have a huge impact on how much money you hold on to. Now, I'm not just talking about federal income tax. There's a cumulative effect of state or other types of income taxes. There's property taxes and sales taxes and estate tax and self-employment tax and luxury tax and all these excise taxes, right? So this is income that goes to tax. Each year is around 40% or 40 cents on every dollar moving forward. With 40% taxes, that $12.9 million suddenly drops to $7.7 million. Yeah, that sucks, right? That's just after paying taxes and nothing else at all. Now, the second thing, loans and interest. Most people have a few loans: student loans, mortgage payments, credit card balances, business loans, car payments. The money you put towards paying off loans is money that's not going into your pocket. The estimated average percent of income that Americans put towards loans is 35%. When we factor that in over the 30 years, the $7.7 million now drops down to $3.2 million. We've already dropped your earning potential by $9.7 million just by paying taxes and loans. Well, the third one, lifestyle. At least, yeah, lifestyle is nice, right? But we haven't even factored that in. This is money you spend just to live your life. Average lifestyle costs amount to an estimated 23.5% of income. When we factor that in over 30 years, the amount of money you have left in your pocket sinks down to $194,000. Just $194,000 of the $12.9 million that passed through your hands is still with you after 30 years. Yikes. So, how can you keep more money in your pocket? Most retirement planners will tell you the solution is to focus on increasing your rate of return. High risk equals high return. Let's follow their advice. And let's see how the numbers play out. Instead of earning a 5% interest rate on your earnings, let's increase that to 10%. I'm sure you've heard that the stock market's averaged 10% since 2000 BC. I look like Jesus, and I don't think that's actually true. I don't think it's been an average, because average versus actual are two different things, and we don't have 100 years to wait for, but let's say that it is 10%. This so-called magic bullet of just increasing your rate of return, let's see how we do. Increasing earnings from 5% to 10%, the $194,000 goes to $433,206. Not enough to last someone 20 years of retirement. Moreover, increasing your rate of return from 5% to 10%, it probably took an increase in risk. There are no guarantees at that point. And what if right before you were going to retire, the market dropped like it did from 2000 to 2002 or 2008 to 2010? That could be a 40% shaving of your cash. You'd lose 40% of your life savings. So what's the solution to keep more money in your pocket? It's to reduce those eroding factors. Let's say right off the bat that the factors we want to focus on with reducing our taxes and loans, not lifestyle. If I told you, hey, you can cut back, you can eliminate, you can budget, you can become a miser, look at Ebenezer Scrooge, you should kick me. You should put terrible comments about this video, because that sucks. I don't want that to happen. I want you to be able to keep your lifestyle and actually increase it. So let's see what happens if we just focus on taxes and loans. Let's go back to the 5% earnings rate, which brings us to a total over the 30 years of $194,000. Using basic tax strategy, you can decrease your tax burden by 10%, meaning 10% of the 40% average. So just a 4% difference total. So now you're paying a total of 36% on taxes instead of 40%. I've got a lot of videos on that, and I've even got good resources for you. You can go to wealthfactory.com/tax. You can go on my YouTube channel, subscribe, and look at the tax videos. That 4% is minimal compared to what's really going to happen. Your total savings after 30 years jump up to $713,120 just by going from a 40% rate of all your taxes down to a 36% rate. Now, if you want to see your financial strength, if you want to understand what's going on here, you can go to wealthfactory.com/no more budgeting to stress test different areas where you might be eroding your wealth. But let's look at these three things. These are the three things you can do to really improve. You can use cash flow banking so you have no tax on your gains, cashflowbanking.com. You can look at my tax strategy, which is the 3x3x3x3. So for example, you get the right tax team, make sure you have your numbers, whether that's a bookkeeper or someone part-time, and you're looking every quarter, every 3 months with a tax strategist to say, have you maximized your deductions? If you have kids, you can pay them and lower your taxes. You can learn about the Augusta rule in some of my videos and write off your home for up to 14 days per year. You can have home office. You can learn about Section 199A, which if you're a business owner, and get tax pass-through deductions through a QIB in your business. I mean, I could go on forever and ever. You can choose the right corporation. You can change how you pay yourself. There's so many things you can do to lower your tax burden. All right, but we can look at loan examples. You could use something called the cash flow index. You can take your loan balance and divide it by your minimum monthly payment to find out if you have any inefficient loans. And you work to pay those off by doing it more intelligently. There's 3 R's to do that. One is restructure the loans so you can reduce the interest rate, renegotiate the interest rate on the loan so you can keep more of what you make there, or reallocate if you have any underperforming assets like a certificate of deposit or a 401k that's not performing you could borrow from, and you can pay off loans and get that guaranteed savings right there. But let's just be conservative with all these things that we're talking about. And let's say that we could reduce your loan payments because you learn about the cash flow index in my other videos. You go to wealthfactory.com/no more budget and you find these other areas that you can improve. And we move that from a 35% issue to a 20% issue. With that factored in, your savings after 30 years leaps up to $2.6 million. $2.6 million. How are you doing that? You restructure loans, you renegotiate interest rates, and you reallocate anything that's inefficient to pay off higher interest rate loans. Let's tally this up. Now you've gone from holding onto just $194,000 of $12.9 million. So you got all this money slipping through your hands to actually keeping hold of $2.6 million without boosting your rate of return, with higher guarantee, with more predictability. It's a dramatic difference. And all that was done at no additional risk to you was becoming more intelligent and efficient with your finances. Chasing a higher rate of return is not the answer. The The answer is to focus on leverage, efficiency, utilization of your money, and decreasing eroding factors. By utilizing cash flow banking techniques, you can minimize your taxes, you can lower your interest costs, and you can improve your interest rates through dividends rather than savings accounts. So, this is the solution, cash flow banking. There's a list of benefits that cash flow banking can provide. You have access to your cash over time. You don't pay taxes as it grows. You could borrow it to avoid taxes in the future. Your death benefit is tax-free. Your gains are locked in once they're there. You can save on term insurance and pocket that money. I mean, it's pretty spectacular. I've got videos on that as well. The reality is, this is a simple movement of how you allocate the flow of your money to make dramatic results in your life. Plus, your money can be protected from lawsuits and bankruptcy. And your guaranteed returns on the policy are higher rates than what you see in almost any other savings vehicle. More importantly, cash flow banking creates a solid kind of base level which always keeps you safe. It provides what I would call, and my partner who was deceased in 2006 would call, the economic value of certainty. You have predictability. You know exactly what the guaranteed standards of performance are. You can make decisions with more security and confidence knowing the money's there. And when opportunities come, you have cash that you can capitalize and use that to invest in the best opportunities. Saving your money's hard. It's slow. It takes forever to get where you want to go. Even worse, you chase rates of return, and all of a sudden it creates risk that won't pay off nearly as much as just plugging your financial leaks. You may think you're saving money, but if that doesn't create real cash flow, then all that savings may just be pennies compared to the overpayment of tax, interest, investment fees, and insurance costs. By learning the tricks to overcoming tax, and by implementing cash flow banking, you will see major improvements on your income over time. Now, you have the knowledge to transform your thoughts into profits and build the life you love. If you're looking for more on this topic, check out my video on financial planning. You'll learn why 95% of financial plans fail and the differences between a financial plan and a retirement plan. I'll see you there.